Hello, hello. Welcome back to some Make and Break. I got a cat who's going kind of crazy. She's probably gonna be in and out playing with hairbands and stuff. I might kick her out. Who knows? We'll see. We'll let it happen. But hello, we're here, and we got ourselves a pool scene. And Beryl has already suggested the speed sketch 8 ball, which I assume was a reference to billiards and not to swimming pools. So that is how it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on the music, same as always, and we're gonna jump into this. Um, yeah, I'm looking at some stuff. I'm like kind of weirded out about what I'm looking at. So yeah, what's the goal today? The goal is to find a song that we like to start with. We will go with what do we want? What do we want to start with? Let's start with Pyre. There we go. That's fitting. Cool. So what we're starting with is I'm going to go ahead and take this scene, a scene that I made a little bit ago, not too long ago, and we're going to go ahead and make it better. We're going to make it relevant. Hello? You okay? All right, she's just talking to us. She's going to be a guest on the stream today, I think. She's a little hyper. So yeah, I'm just taking this scene and making it a little bit better. It's amazing how quickly you've learned all sorts of stuff, but this is what we were working with before. Some little proud pieces that I have here is these little pool floaties. Oh, sorry, my eyes and your eyes. The heck was that? Let's fix the HDRI setup real quick. Come on, there we go, and now we're back. No, he's all messed up. Oh, I moved my files. Okay, hold on. We're gonna come back. And also this ugly pool tile, I'm gonna fix that. So, you are missing textures? Yeah, I move things a lot in my my little setup here. And every time I move it, there we go. Now he's back. I'm not even sure who all was watching me when I was working on this stuff, but this is back in the old days. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, I was made this in Krita, made myself a little shark face, and we got ourselves a little sweet shark boy. I'd jump in a pool with this guy. And we got ourselves this real real weird looking tiger, which I kind of love. Kind of love the tiger. He's actually kind of perfect the way the arm crease is right there. Ooh. What's up, Simo? Simo, you must have been here for this. This seems up your alley. Okay, so we're back to it. So what do we want to start with? Well, I'm looking at everything. I need to make chairs. I need to make a fence around this whole thing. And I need to make stairs. So I'm going to make stairs. Stairs are a number one. So we're going to go here. And I'm assuming I've already made stairs. No, I didn't. Why didn't I do that? Ain't that odd? Ain't that odd? Okay, well, you know what? I kind of thought this pool was a little bit small. So I'm going to take it upon myself to make it bigger because I have to now. I don't really get a choice. Come on. So little fun fact for everybody. I have been studying a little bit more Blender than I usually do. I want to get better. I want to improve. I want to get faster. So I've just kind of been doing a little bit of studying here and there. I have a... Where is it? Where did you go? I got a note card with my new skills, and I guess I'll keep it out today. So here's all my new skills. Here we go. And anybody who wants to pause the VOD can go and read all that. But yeah, so I just learned some new hotkeys. We're playing with some stuff. It's time to start thinking, bigger. Bigger. Always getting bigger. So, first and foremost, how are we going to do this? Well, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm kind of thinking, how long do we want this staircase to be? I'm not sure. That's a human. That's actually pretty tall. Maybe it doesn't need to be this tall. I've been commissioned by a guy for 3D stuff, so that's nice. Wow. Beryl. Kind of crazy. Commissions are weird, man. Commissions are a strange beast. My roommate does writing commissions. And I'm always just kind of like, that's crazy. Like, as somebody who considers myself a writer above all else, I could not imagine writing for other people. I could never imagine doing that. That's like intense. That's so wild to me. But, you know, to the people that it applies to, that's awesome. Maybe I'm just too, like, solo oriented, you know? I'm too, like, in my own process. What? Oh, no, we want to do it this way. Shout out to the Animal Crossing soundtrack. And also, my music definitely got EQ'd badly, because now it's getting even quieter than it was last time. Is that, like, unhearable by you? Because it's pretty quiet for me. Here we go. The next song is going to fry our brains, but this will be fine. Okay, cool. So what we're working on is stairs. Focus, focus, focus on the stairs. Okay on my side? What do you mean by that? What does okay on my side mean? Did I miss something? Also, we're going to use math. We are going to use math. Here we go. Sound? Okay, I did turn it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we got to divide by 11, which is not a fun number to divide by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check this guy. We're going to scooch you down and say, how far is that? It is 2.8, which is not a fun number. It's not a creative number. So I'm going to say 2.8 divided by 11. You know, it's okay. That's okay. That's actually really easy because Blender has a math function. Anybody who didn't know this, by the way, check this out. I can come in here. I can go extrude along normals and choose an amount. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go negative 2.8 divided by 11. That's not accurate. What? Why is that not accurate? Oh, yeah. We go hard for Animal Crossing music. Oh, now it's not... Sure, whatever. Okay, I'm going to turn the music down real quick. We're going to get our brains fried. All right, tell me how that volume sounds. Somehow the volume got real messed up on here. Oh, man, Her Majesty. What a soundtrack. I'm going to turn it up in my headset, too, just in case I'm kind of getting blown out here. Okay, so now it's negative 0.88. Which, how did that happen? So anyway, I'm going to just do it myself. What? Check this out, check this out, check this out. We're going to go extrude along normals down negative 0.88 divided by 11. Okay? And now I remove that one, and I repeat, and I remove that one, and I repeat, remove, repeat, remove, repeat, remove, repeat, all the way down. Oh yeah, no, that's what we're up to, man. That's what we've done. And I can probably delete that last one. T has recommended that everybody take a nice drink of water, so make sure that you all are staying hydrated, that you're staying healthy, that you're living your best lives. I also realized I made a big mistake. So we're going to go ahead and fix this mistake real fast. The mistake is we should divide it by 12. We should go one extra so that the 0 is on this ground plane instead of being set into the actual staircase. So I'm going to divide it by 12. And now we are safe to go. So I'm going to repeat. No! Oh, no! See, that's... Okay, you can't mess up like that. You can't mess up like that. You mess up like that and your life is ruined. Divided by 12. Okay, here we go. 1, do it. 1, do it. 1, do it. 1, do it. Speed. Speed's the name of the game. You take a little break to figure out what you're up to, and then you go for it. You go real fast. All right, and now I can take it upon myself to cut all of these guys out of my life. And we're good. Chaos. Hey, Chaos. Chaos, how you been? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and F that. And I think we're looking all right. I got to have to fix all this topology. This is disgusting, but that's okay. We'll get there. I think I'm going to do some things that CMOS really going to dislike, but it's going to be necessary. Tiding spree today, so having a flop. What the heck is a flop? I'm good. I'm very well stretched. I went out and did a nice stretch this morning. I'm well fed. I'm drinking a lot of water. I slept good last night. I'm feeling really good. Feeling excellent, actually. Chaos, I had something I had to talk to you about. I'm going to talk to you maybe after stream, if that's okay with you. I'm going to shoot you a message. I just had a little idea. Had a little fun idea for a bunch of peeps that, you know, are in the know. So I'm gonna shoot you a message if that's okay with you. All right. I'm gonna do this. This might not be the best decision in the world. Actually, this is a terrible decision. What am I doing? Don't do this. Get rid of those. Yes, and I think I definitely need to know what a flop is. I can't even imagine what a flop is. A flop relax thing, and yes, that's fine with me. Yeah, no worries. What? What do you mean a relax thing? Is that common? Am I the weird one here, or is that like a is that a European thing? What's a flop? Like you flop on the couch? I guess that makes sense. I can understand that. Okay, we're going to dissolve that edge, and now we have this little teetered looking thing, and now I want to try and fix this, but I'm going to worry about that later. Might just be a word I use, yeah. Couch flop, I don't know. No worries. I get it. It's common now. Look at Joe. Joe's always so nice. Joe's always so nice to everyone but me. Joe comes here just to disrespect me. Which, you know, I did mod him, so he does deserve to do it. But it hurts nonetheless. Absolutely. Oh, man. Persona. Okay, so that's the stairs. The topology sucks. Anybody who's upset about the topology, me too. Me too, bud. Oh, someone's home. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. I don't want to bother anybody by screaming, so I close my door. Okay, we're back. Hey, welcome, Sniper. You're not late. You're precisely on time. Okay, so we got ourselves stairs. Let's make a fence. The fence is something that I'm a little bit worried about. So I think we're going to take a moment. I haven't done this in a hot minute. I usually prep a lot more for stream than I did today, which I'm not apologizing. I'm living my best life. That slope is beautiful. Honestly, like I made this a long time ago, and I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, like that. You wanna skateboard in this, right? You wanna drain the pool, and you wanna like have a little skateboard trip. I was watching a kangaroo fight a guy. That sounds right up your alley. That sounds exactly like you. Also, if anybody has any ideas for things you want to add to the pool, let's add things to the pool. I think I might add like a boombox or something. But a boombox sounds like maybe the hardest thing in the world to 3D model, the more I think about it. So maybe don't suggest that. But let's look at a fence. A turtle? I'm definitely not adding a turtle. Pool chairs with an umbrella? I can definitely add an umbrella. A slide would be hard. Okay, Fall Guys kind of gave me a spook. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. There we go. No. Sniper, I'm genuinely going to ban you saying that. So, live it up while you can, I guess. A slide wouldn't be too hard. I can make a slide. Let's make a slide. First things first, I want to make a fence. That's like kind of the goal. Let's do like a metal fence. You could say you were on the fence about the fence. Honestly, you've said it. I'm going to say pool fence. Like a corkscrew slide, but a straight one would probably be easier. You want a corkscrew slide? I'm going to give you a corkscrew slide. You want a corkscrew slide? I'll give you a corkscrew slide. I can't speak. Oh, those are some fancy, and that looks easy as can be. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's, like, scary, too. You play a game. Because in a game, obviously, you can't destroy... You can't, like... You can't destroy the environment unless I let you destroy the environment. So walking up to this and being like, ooh, I don't want to swim in a pool that has stuff like this, that's kind of scary. I think I'm into this. Man, I would never have this at my own house. Could you imagine having kids and this is your fence? You'd be a crazy person. You'd be a nut job. Oh, I like it a lot. I love this. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that's it. 100%. There's no way. So let's go back to Blender. And let's make ourselves a little bracket to stick that glass in. I did like the X. It's a little much. It depends on the gives me art background ideas. What do you mean by that? The axe is a little bit busy. I don't know what your use case is, right? If it's for historic like purposes, it's definitely like way too busy. If it's just meant to look cool, then it looks very cool. Like it's great. No problem. But if it's meant to be like used in combat, it's not super usable. It's a little messy. But not everything has to be like for combat, right? Not everything has to be, you know, hyper useful. So if it's not that, then I think it's great. No problem. When I draw pool scenes, I always run out of background ideas, and wooden fences usually happened. Glass seems interesting. Yeah. I was thinking the black metal, like the black metal rungs that are really tall, but I'm kind of in on this. Okay, so we do have a pool noodle. I do have to say I've already made a pool noodle. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this guy up here, and let's cut out. I'm actually going to bridge. Bridging is like the easiest way to save yourself some time on this operation, and the better I get, the better I know. What color is the pool noodle? Why no chairs around the pool, though? Because I ran out of time. I did this on stream. There is a VOD somewhere online. If you go to my YouTube channel, it'll be there. I want to say I did this in, like, February. The pool noodle has has no color. So we'll color the pool noodle today. I love how reflective the deck is, though. That is nice looking. I've definitely learned a lot since I did this sketch. Like a lot. So feeling good about that. But yeah, it's been a hot minute since I worked on this. Let's see. We're going to scale this. We're going to go ahead and grab you, and we're going to bring you guys down. Maybe I want to do all three of these. Let's try all three. See what happens. Ooh, no. We want to clamp that overlap as much as we can. Let's see. We're going to clamp overlap. We're going to go all the way. There we go. Perfect. And that looks good enough for me. Question time. Will this work? Because I kind of think this is going to fail badly. Will you work? Please work. Please work. Please work. Come on. It doesn't even want to do anything. Tell you what, instead, let's redo this, but I'm also going to bevel this, and I'm thinking if I bevel this correctly, we should be looking at something kind of nice looking. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. That's perfect. Boom. The axe is meant to look like it was pulled out of the ground after hundreds of years. Yeah, but there's still implication to that. Like, was it used for war originally? Because if it was used for war, it's messy. There's too much going on with it. Like, rule of thumb when it comes to weapons, like historic weapons. And the word historic, when I say historic, I'm referring to stuff that's used like in combat. Like, you can make a sword and hang it in your house, and who cares, right? That's fun. Whatever. No problem. You can do whatever you want. You could make Cloud Strife's sword, right? But you're definitely not taking a sword like that to battle. And so historic for me is like shorthand for was it used in combat. And when you're looking at historic weapons, the more features you add to the weapon, the disproportionately worse the weapon is. Because weapons rely on like ease of use, weight, and like aerodynamics. If it's too busy, I mean, you just got to look at like the structure of it. It's not an easy solution. I can't tell you like, you know, raise blank value to X, right? I would look up HEMA if I were you. HEMA is historic medieval martial arts. Historic European martial arts, I should say. You'll learn a lot from the HEMA community. I think it's really relevant to 3D modeling, personally. It's probably relevant to all art, actually. If you're an artist and you draw weapons, do yourself a favor and look up HEMA, please. It's pretty big. It's pretty important to know that stuff, unless you just don't care. What do you think I should make first in Sculptris? Is Sculptris 3D modeling software? Because that's what it sounds like to me. I think I've heard of Sculptris. What would be a good thing to sculpt? Yeah, Barrel I think has it. What's the first thing I would sculpt? That is a great question. Okay, let me plug away at that for a second. It's a baby version of ZBrush. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I can wrap my brain around that. What's the first thing you should sculpt? I mean, the first thing I made was a fish, and I sculpt most of the fish, and I think fish have like really good forms. Like a minnow, right? Like a simple, small bait fish. There's something really good about that form. A koi might be a little bit more difficult, but if you want to challenge, why not, right? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call this... Oh, where is this, by the way? Perfect. It's in the exact spot we want it. This is glass fence holder. Yeah, the whiskers are going to be kind of cool for you, actually. If you can learn how to do... here, real quick. Let's say you make a koi head. I'm trying to justify this in my head, but I can't figure out a way that I would justify it. So we're just going to make this real fast. If you make yourself a koi head... oh gosh, this is not going to be good. There we go. So that's the head of a koi, right? If you find a way to learn how to do this, this is this time saver right here. This is the thing that saves you infinite time. If you can learn how to do that, and then learn how to do this. I know you're not poly editing. I know that you're sculpting, but whatever the equivalent in sculpting is to that, if you can learn how to do it, you're going to be super well off. Right? Like if you can learn how to do that, boom. You can do a lot of different stuff. Learning how to like extrude in organic ways. Yeah, that'll teach you a lot. You'll be able to do fins that way. You'll be able to do all sorts of stuff that way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy the glass fence holder, and we're going to push it on over just a little bit. That's not half bad looking, and I'm kind of thinking, do I want... Historical axes do not have two heads. No, that's not true, Barrel. That's not true. There are pole axes that are made for breaking armor. They are worn on the hip, and they are double-headed. Having an axe head on them is sort of uncommon, but it's not the weirdest thing in the world. It does exist, especially in northern climates. Like historic Germans used pole axes like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that's it on the axe talk for right now. I'm focusing on this pool. So let's go ahead and pop in an X of 12.2 whatever, and we're going to go ahead and click you, and you're 12.2 whatever. And we're shrinking. We're shrinking, and we're shrinking. And we're looking pretty good. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I need to join these guys together. Join. What up, Mr. Six? Oh, hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys see anything weird happening in chat right now. Yeah, if you guys want to criticize the X, take it to Discord. It's, I think we're done on the X. I don't know if you guys see anything weird happening in chat right now, but I did something to chat. So keep a lookout. Because once you notice it, it's pretty good. All right, so we're going to set origin to geometry. I'm going to grab our Y. And we're going to go ahead and just rest this guy down into its frame, and we should be good to go. Chaos has recommended that everybody take a drink of water. You guys are going to keep me very healthy. Okay, yeah, we're not going to get vile. You are, you want to talk like that, I'm going to ban you. So I'm telling you right now, the axe stuff is done. It is officially done. You write anything else about it, you are going to get timed out. Enough. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and array a fence here. And I'm kind of considering doing that thing that Glass always has. So when you look at Glass, Glass always has that weird little thing to it. My name is with this pink thing. Is that related to it? Mr. Six, you got it first try. You got it A#1 first try. Yeah, I went ahead and I VIP'd some regulars. Joe, you are not. You do, Chaos. Yeah, I just decided to go for it, you know? I had VIP slots, I wasn't using them, and I was like, hey, you guys hang out often. Why not? Who does it hurt? It doesn't hurt me. No. Nothing to be thankful for. Very normal. Very, very normal thing. Huh. Now I'm really thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm doing this wrong. I want to do this in a different way. I want to add 2 of these guys. Yeah, no worries. You're always interviewing me. I figured, you know, I'm thankful for that. You give me a lot to talk about. As somebody who is decently good, as somebody who's decently good at talking a lot, streaming is definitely not the easiest thing, just to talk and talk and talk forever. And you give me a lot of reasons to talk, Mr. Six. So I'm very thankful of that. I don't know what topic not to talk about. What are we talking about, Joe? I'm not sure I understand the nature of the question. Okay, so what I think needs to happen, I don't know why I can't scale this. What does VIP do? It really only gives you a heart on your name. It's sort of like mod status, but you don't have the ability to ban people, right? That's all it really is. There we go. That looks like Glass. There we go. That should be fine. I kind of want to bevel the end of this, but I'm not going to. All right, Simo. I'll catch you next time. What is my favorite 3D model I've ever made? Hama. That's a hard question. Okay, I'm getting a little distracted. I got a little bit, the fish I made. The fish, honestly, might be high on the list. The Magic Pingle is good. I actually do really like the Magic Pingle. I think the Magic Pingle is like, it looks ugly. It looks not good. But I made it fast. And I think speed is something that I really value. You know, should I be valuing speed? Probably not. But like, if you got to make 1,000 things, you know, over a period of a time, speed's pretty cool. Speed's pretty awesome. And I do sort of appreciate like speed. I do appreciate like the level of speed that I can get to with 3D modeling. That's been like the strength of streaming, right? That's been like the big thing of me streaming it and whatever. Negative 1.11 brings us even closer to the edge, and that is perfect. Favorite 3D model? I think it's got to be the piano. The piano is pretty good. Okay, we're going to call this fence, and I'm going to have to disintegrate this fence a little bit later, which I'm not pleased about, but we'll get back to that. I'm going to say it's probably the fence. Or not the fence. What am I saying? The piano. I think it's the piano. That piano is pretty good looking, and I was a lot worse at 3D modeling than I am now. So it might be a fun thing to try and do again. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. The piano was good. Isn't the fence a tad small in proportion to the stairs? I don't think so. The proportions are definitely going to be a little awkward. I think that's true. There is a cup of tea. Chaos, I think you and I'm a cup of tea would actually get along really well. So this is meant to be the size of a person. So if I take this person, right? Let's bring this person on over. This is my person model. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay, those are big old fences. I actually probably want to make the fences shorter than this. And then here's the stairs. Do you think they can climb the stairs? They're pretty big stairs. Okay, maybe you have a point. Maybe you have a point. Yeah, maybe I should reduce those stairs down a little bit. No, the fence is tall. I think I just messed up. We'll fix that in a little bit. I'm not going to do it yet. Okay. So, let's get back down to here. Chaos, what all is involved in spring cleaning for you? Or summer cleaning, I guess is the better word for it. What all are you up to? What are you cleaning? Negative 1.12. And we're here. That looks good enough to me. And then what I'm going to do is grab you and copy and paste and bring you all the way back to here. What I should do is instance all of this, and I have notes for instancing sitting right in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and instance this, actually. That should make this look a lot better. I am kind of just feeling the Kirby music, though. Okay, so negative 1.1 is not enough. This is going to be a little ugly. That's not bad. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen. This guy can go maybe a little bit further, negative 1.13. And we're going. Okay, and now it should be an easy just copy this guy over, because these two are different links, but this one's the same length, right? So just copy, paste, pull you over, and we're done. And that looks pretty okay to me, I gotta say. This lines up pretty close, but I'm not that colored about it. That looks fine. Everything basically, we need a cardboard cupboard. What? Cardboard cupboard that from moving that needed tackling. So you guys moved is what it is, right? This looks so much better with a fence now. The fence really seals the deal on this guy. Okay, cool. So I'm going to scroll up. I got suggested a bunch of stuff that I've already forgotten. Where is it? What did you guys suggest? You suggested all sorts of stuff. We got pool noodle. I see that. Chairs. That was obvious. I've missed it. I can't seem to find what you guys suggested. I'm gonna dig too long for it if I try to think about it. Oh, umbrella. Umbrella was the big one. That was the one I was thinking of. Let's do an umbrella. Lifeguard chair. You also suggested an umbrella. And I really like the idea of an umbrella, and I want to make an umbrella right now. So, for an umbrella, what am I thinking? For an umbrella, we have... Yeah, umbrella is the spirit, I think. How many sections does an umbrella have? Umbrella. Umbrellas, they have a lot. Oh, wow. More than I thought. Well, just counting real quick. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Mr. Six, what's your idea? Let's hear your idea. What did you suggest if I didn't see it already? We got 8. Let's do a division of 8. Actually, we need a division of 16 because I need it to merge correctly. So we're gonna do 16. We're gonna make this guy nice and tall. And we'll go for it. Oh, man. Shout out to Dark Cloud 2. I'm going to say it every single time I stream that I hear the song, but man, Dark Cloud 2 really does it for me. There's never been a game like Dark Cloud 2. Okay, so this guy can be extruded along normals. And what we're going to want to do is 2 things. Put a cut here and here. Are you talking about the Discord suggestions or I missed something? Oh, people are just writing in chat. People were just like suggesting random things for a pool in chat. I'm not talking about the speed sketch. Although the stuff that I've been suggested on the speed sketch is a little chaotic, which is par for the course around here. But definitely a little chaotic. What is happening? What on earth? Hold on. Let's stretch it this way. What? Oh, whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Didn't even see that I had that. My bad. Now we can do it. What is happening? Why can't I... This is a moment where I need Simo. This is a moment where I really could use Simo. What is happening? Why can't I stretch this? I must have clicked something. A ball? I do have a ball in the scene already. Like a big old beach ball. Why won't you work? Missing something. This does happen like all the time too. I don't know why. Strange. I'm not going to think too much about it. I think if I think too much about it, I'm going to kind of lose my mind. A bottle of sunscreen. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Bottle of sunscreen is perfect. We can do a bottle of sunscreen easy. Okay, pop this down. Oh, that's not what I wanted to happen. Hold on. I didn't think about this. Check you. Check you. Oh, now we're thinking. We're getting... Oh, wow. Check or deselect. Oh! It's like I know how to 3D model or something. There we go. And what I need to do is probably also this, right? No. How to use curves? That's a great mystery to me. That's a great big old mystery to me. You're out of ideas? That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and spoil something for you all. I can't work as fast as you all can come up with ideas, so if it takes you a little bit to come up with an idea, that's good for me. That's perfect for me. There we go. That's the beginning of an umbrella right there. And now what I want to do is fold down the outside of this thing. You'd make good fantasy mushrooms? Oh, yeah. I have a mushroom on my Instagram that I made that I'm pretty proud of. I do make good mushrooms. I'm pretty good at it. Any sort of like round, symmetrical sort of thing, I think I got down. It's when you ask me to make like very specific human shapes that I have trouble. Okay, yeah, this is ugly. Hold on. There's part of me that just wants to add a subsurface in C, but I kind of think that's a stupid amount of geometry. But we're going to try it anyway. We're going to try it anyway. Ooh, that is kind of gross looking. What we really need to do is come into here, grab you, put a big old crease on you. And then I'm going to grab each of these end points. Let's do the exact same selection tool that we did last time because I'm fast and I can do it. And we can check or deselect. Oh no, the other one. Offset by 1. Perfect. Control E. Let's get these guys sharp. And now we just need to fix up this top portion right here, and then we should be golden. Scale that guy down. Let's extrude him up. And let's go ahead and grab you and put a nice little bevel on you. Boy, does that look ugly. Boy, does that not look good. Why don't you look good? What about a donut floaty? Now we're talking. I hope somebody's taking notes, because I can't remember all of this. I'm down with the donut floaty. I'm big down with the donut floaty. That's what I should have done for the donut challenge for Blender Guru. A stack of towels? I like that as well. I like that a lot. A stack of towels is actually super easy. You can try one of those large square umbrellas you see in the patio section of Target. Ugh. Those are disgusting. That like screams like I don't like my spouse. I'm sorry to people who have those. I'm sorry if you just got called out. That screams like I don't talk to the person I'm married to. There we go. that is the perfect reply to what I just said. Beryl says, how? Honestly, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I don't know how. It just does. It just does somehow. That's a very funny reply, though. There we go. Now, the umbrella just needs to be bigger, I think. Prejudice against square umbrellas? You know me. You know what I'm known for. I hate square umbrellas. I don't love this umbrella. This umbrella doesn't spark a bunch of joy in me. It's a little, like, messy. It just looks a little, like, weird. I think it's fine. I think it's going to be fine. It just looks a little bit weird. There's something about it that I don't like, and I can't really place my hands on it. It's definitely like the shape, like the contour of the whatever, the mesh, but I can't super figure out like how to fix it. So I think we might just sit on it for a little bit. Also, why is there a there's a glass in the middle of the umbrella. That's right. We made that last time. Cool. So here's our umbrella. We're going to go ahead and place this thing down into here. Nice human-sized umbrella right there. Maybe a little bit bigger than a human. Get it kind of big and nice looking. There we go. Also, for anybody that's learning 3D and isn't aware of this, because I wasn't aware of this, the rotate tool, you can grab the circle of this and like move it and deform it. I was always trying to grab like specific axes or trying to figure out why it was bending the way it was bending. It's like you're rolling the end of a ball. It's actually works super well once you understand it. Like I can get things going anywhere now. I just didn't get it. You know, it's like a tool that you see and it looks obvious, and I guess the way I thought of it was not the way that it actually works. So, fun fact, it's actually a lot easier to use. There we go. We'll do just like that, and that is our umbrella. Nice and done. It actually doesn't look too bad now that I'm looking at it. It's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so what do we have been suggested? A donut floaty, a stack of towels. That ain't that bad. I can live with that. A bottle of sunscreen. Lifeguard chair. All right, you know what? We're gonna have to take it upon ourselves to do this. Let's rotate this by 90, and let's rotate this by 90. Oh gosh. There we go. So this is going to be our little housekeeping file. So what do I got? I got towels. That's how you spell towels. Towels. Donut float. We got... What else did we have? Sunscreen. Sunscreen. We need chairs. Oh, the slide. That was the big one. That's the one I wanted to do. Yes, slide is it. I'm doing slide right now. Absolutely, 100%. I think I never went to a pool party. How common are pools where you live? Because that's going to determine how weird that is as a sentence. I grew up in Florida. If you didn't go to a pool party in Florida, you you were locked in a basement, and you should call for help. Because pool parties are the only way that people socialize over here. Like, there's such a pool culture in Florida that, like, there's, like, cultures of people who go to pools, right? Like, there's the person who wears the shirt in the pool. There's, like, there's everybody. You remember my sister's graduation pool party? I do as well. The best thing is, when my sister got married, we also had a pool party. And before she got married, she had a what is it called? A shower or a bachelorette party. She had a bachelorette party, a do, I think is what they call them in Europe, or in Britain, I should say, British culture. And for that, she also had a pool party. In stark contrast, when I graduated from high school, I did not have a pool party. when I graduated from college, I did not have a pool party. Despite being the person who used our pool the most, I actually really love pools. Swimming is probably one of my favorite things in the whole world. You get me in a pool, and I'm going to act like a child. If you get me in a pool, I turn into a literal child. And I'm not upset about that. I'm not complaining about that one bit. Okay, so what do I want to do for this? I want to make myself... Yeah, you're rough in the pool. What is... Junie, what does that mean? What does rough in the pool mean? Like wrestling and stuff? Because I think I do that. Yeah, pools are wonderful. Pools are awesome. Pools are... Man, humans are water creatures. We're water-type Pokemon. Why can't I scale? I'm going to Google this real quick. Hold on, because this is actually going to mess me up. If I can't scale, I'm going to be like really out of luck. Blender, why can't I scale? You never took the fact that I was a foot shorter than you into consideration? Yeah, the wrestling. Yeah. Transform effect only. Okay, we got it. This can be accessed by hovering over the viewport, pressing in, click the tool tab, reveal options, reveal transformation, uncheck only properties. What the heck? The heck is all of this? Reveal options. Tool tab. Okay, so we're going to the tool tab. Options. Hold on. Reveal options, reveal transformations. I'm looking at it. What the heck is going on? Check the options in the upper right hand of your viewport. Under transformation, effect only. Let me check another one. The latest release, there is options, effect only. Hey, got ourselves a little hydrate. Oh, I think it's invisible to you guys. It popped in on my end. Well, there's a hydrate option. Okay, so we want to do this. Options, effect only. It's gone. It's not even here. You can't even see it. Okay, Beryl, thank you for making me look legitimate. Wow, this is actually really frustrating. I pressed something, and now I can't use Blender the way I want to anymore. Yeah, it doesn't go on the y-axis. Do I have a preferred way of eating eggs if I eat eggs? What a question. Wow, this is going to be awful. Do I have a preferred way of eating eggs? I like eggs a lot. I eat a lot of eggs. I actually have eggs for breakfast and dinner fairly frequently. So I'm kind of an egg guy. Egg sandwiches do be good. Egg sandwiches are definitely like a top tier. Okay, so how I make eggs. I make an Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict really does it. If you haven't had a good Eggs Benedict, treat yourself. On me. I'm not going to pay for it, but treat yourself on me. Go get yourself an Eggs Benedict. I like scrambled eggs. I go kind of hard for a scrambled egg. When I scramble eggs, I do French style. So you put it on low heat and you scramble for like 10 minutes. And it turns into like butter. Like it just becomes egg butter. And it's like super good. Super, super good. But it takes forever and it's annoying. Hold on. One thing real quick. Let me think about how to do this real fast. I like a runny egg. I actually kind of like a Scotch egg. I like Scotch eggs a lot, but I'm not very good at making them. A Scotch egg on an avocado sandwich with some cream cheese. That's a top tier. Paprika and a little bit of turmeric on there. Oh, it kills. That's a killer right there. That's how you make anybody fall in love with you, is you cook a good egg sandwich. Like, sexuality doesn't even matter. Like, gay, straight, nothing. Doesn't matter. Just drop a fried egg onto your ramen. I don't eat a lot of ramen. They went stupidly big. Yeah, they do get big, don't they? Okay, so I want to simple deform. And we want to do what? I want to make a screw out of this. Whoa, we are going nuts. That's probably not what I want. Screw. There is a screw option. That's not what I want. What do I want to do here? I think the smartest way to do this, realistically speaking. Okay, you know what? I have a really dumb way to do this. This is not how you should ever 3D model, and I apologize that you have to watch this. But this is how I'm going to do it because I'm inept and I'm not fully on right now. My brain's not super working. So I'm going to grab the whole thing. I'm going to tilt it down by maybe 10 degrees. 5 actually looks like a lot. 10's fine. We'll do 10. 10 it is. How the heck does one's sexuality affect one's taste in food? No, I'm saying that I can make anybody fall in love with me with my eggs. My eggs are enchanting. The way I make eggs, you don't stand a chance. Each and every one of you doesn't stand a chance. I'm not cooking eggs for you, so you're safe and you don't have to worry about it. All's well that ends well. You all live your best lives without worry of me enchanting you. But if you ever get a taste of my eggs, it's over. It's over. All right, I'm going to do an object offset with a empty. And this is not something that I'm very good at, but I'm willing to learn, so we're going to learn together. This is definitely one of my worst subjects. I kind of planned on doing this at a different point. Maybe next week I was thinking about doing some array stuff, but we'll do it right now. You ought to challenge that. That's an interesting thought. Sure, go ahead, try. Okay, so what I want to do is scaling on size, right? This guy is scaled, which I guess I just want to apply scale, right? There we go. Perfect, solved. And now the question remains, what's the relationship between these two? Let's make like 7 of these guys. And now I'm going to twist them and pull it back. And it's way too big. That looks pretty good to me. Thank you. Very appreciated. I'm a little bit worried that I might have gone a little overboard on this. Let's do one more. 8. Because that way it can come back and you can get on top of it. We can put a little ladder here. And now I'm thinking what we want to do is lower it and bring it back and do this. I'm going to present you a poached egg, excuse me, for several tens of minutes. Wow. Barrel's about to do this. Barrel, I'm proud. This confidence is out of control. Barrel, I think you're going to woo me. There we go. It's a little bit going to be a little bit less of an angle. That's going to be how we're going to do this, I believe. And let's give it a shot. Okay, let's try this. Do we like this slide shape? I'm going to argue that this slide shape actually looks kind of bad. So let's grab you real quick. Let's go into edit. Let's pop 2 of these guys up. Extrude up just a little bit. And then I'm going to grab you and scooch you over by 0.1 and scooch you over by 0.1. I think that's an all right slide shape. Poke faces. Some of these 3D names are funny. Oh, yeah. Chaos, from your understanding, what do you think poke face means? If somebody says poke face, what does that mean in your vision of 3D modeling? Okay, I think I'm comfortable enough to try this. So we're going to call this slide. And I'm actually going to copy it just in case. We're going to make a slide backup. I'm really starting to feel like I can get to the point where I can problem solve. I can start thinking about things in more granular ways, which is nice, which is definitely the goal. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and bridge all the way across. Like embossing the face of each side with dots or something. Total guess. I will show you what bridging does, or what poking does. So I got this face selected right here. I'm going to hit poke, and it takes each of the corners and puts a point in the middle. So you weren't that far off. You were pretty close, actually. All right. We're going to bridge all of these guys together. Does it have to be in the middle? I think it is exclusively in the middle, but maybe there's an operation to get it off center somehow. But I'm not aware of it. That's not my expertise. I only really poke if I have like an ingon. An ingon is a face that has more than 4 sides. So like this face has 4 sides, right? It's a square, even if it's a little like disproportionate, or a rhombus, you might call it, or a parallelogram if you want to be extra specific. But if I have anything more than an ingon, then I'll poke faces. Otherwise, poking is pretty irrelevant. I suppose it could be used if you're making like a spiked thing, like studs. Like if you have an axe and you need to add studs to the axe, poking is probably the way you want to do that. Hey, Nova. Nova, you're part of the thing I got to talk about after stream too. So I'm gonna keep you peeled as well. All right. Also, I gotta see your 3D stuff when you're done, Chaos. Color me very interested in that. Peeled. Yeah, I'll tell you after stream, Nova. I'm gonna message you on Discord, if that's okay with you, if you're comfortable with that. Now, that's not a bad looking slide. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. I don't hate this at all. This looks great. It needs to be like not as chunky. The program crashed. What's your computer looking like? What kind of setup you got? Seems like I was slightly too late. For what? It was a horrific pufferfish from the realm of nightmares, though, so it might be for the best. Nova made me do it. Hey. Someone's got to do it. CQDK! What's up, CQDK? Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to bevel the end. Actually, I'm going to rotate this first. And shrink it down just a little bit. Oh, that shrink works. Oh, Nova Major PC. I understand. Was having some father-daughter time? That's perfectly cool. Good on you. I'm sure your dad really appreciates that. All right, I'm going to do an RX0. Should be able to handle 3D software just fine. Should I have a look-see? If you can just tell me what the graphics card and the processor are, everything else is kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's not irrelevant, but like, unless you put the weirdest hard drive in there, the hard drive doesn't matter. It's possible the hard drive matters, but it's very unlikely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab each of these little bevels. Oh, I can't. Oh, it's because it's all bridged up. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, this is ugly. Oh, no. I made a big mistake. I made a big mistake. Oh, I made a big mistake. Oh, I ruined it. Okay, let's solve this. Let's solve this. I forgot to say, but I really like how the side is looking. What's the mistake, though? Okay, this is a hard mistake to fix. Oh, why did I do this? Okay, here we go. Actually, I think I got it. I think I can solve this pretty quick. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. No. We're gonna do that. And I'm gonna hide this by pressing H. Yeah, that'll work. Red made something for us? What did I make for you? What do you mean I made something for you? I'm always making stuff for you guys. I kind of can't wait to finish this. I mean, I'm not taking my sweet time, and I'm not rushing it because I don't exactly know what I'm doing. But I can't wait to be done with this and like send this out to the world and have people play this game. Because it'll be very interesting to see how everybody takes the game. It'll be a weird one for sure. What I did wrong is I filled faces inside of these little holes here. So there's actually faces inside of this, like that. And there's no reason that these faces need to be in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete these little by little until we're back to normal. That'll do. That'll do, pig. And I'll do that, and we'll go ahead and hide it. Just pressing H to hide for anybody who is trying to follow along. I used to press Control H, and it asks you for a bunch of options, but there's really no reason to do it because a little menu pops up anyway. So if you want speed, you just press H. What genre will the game be? The genre is going to be a walking sim slash... I don't know, like a shitpost? It's going to be a little... It's going to be a silly game. It'll be not serious at all. It'll be nice, but it'll be just a little silly. I'm not taking it too seriously. It doesn't deserve to be taken seriously. It's not the energy that it has or anything like that. But this pool will be in there, so you will see the pool. Okay, it has officially been an hour, and I gotta say, I'm not too displeased with what we've done in an hour. Could I have done more in an hour? Maybe. But we're kind of stepping outside our comfort zone, which is okay. T has recommended we take another drink of water, and honestly, if it weren't for you, I would be a withering corpse right now. So give me 1 sec, and I will take a drink of water. That should have fixed everything for us. I can get rid of this empty real quick. Goodbye. What happened? There was 2 empties there. That was weird. Okay. Slide time. We're here. Oh. Mr. Six, I like that question a lot. Thank you. That's a great question. Okay, the slide needs a little bit of love. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'm gonna talk about my favorite school memory. Man, I have a lot of school memories. I have a lot of. I was kind of a wild kid growing up. I'm sure that's not a surprise to a lot of you. But I was kind of a crazy kid. I went kind of nuts in school. I was just very hyper, which I'm like subdued now. I'm not very hyper anymore, but I was hyper back in the day. I just had too much energy and not a creative outlet to put it into. I made music. Music was like a big thing when I was a kid, but I don't know, like art and like game design and stuff like that was sort of a foreign concept for me. So I didn't put a lot of good energy into making things the way that I do now. But to answer your question, what is my favorite school memory? I think this is going to have to just be a little bit crooked like this. Part of me wants to smooth it, but smoothing it's going to be kind of weird, isn't it? I'm sure there's a measurement for like edge alignment. Hold on, let me try that real quick. If I add a little tiny bevel here and we grab it and we try to do some sort of like loop tool edge alignment, how is that going to work? I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'm not going to think about that. We're already like getting sidetracked with a bunch of stuff. So favorite school memory. What is it? Well, when I was in high school, there was a time where I was in chorus. I was in show choir. I liked singing. I liked music a lot. I'm not really into chorus. A lot of people love to be like, chorus, whatever, and I agree. I don't love chorus. It was a little weird, and I definitely didn't get along with a lot of people in chorus because I felt like not a part of that culture. But I did like the idea of like I get to do music every day. Like I get to show up to school and like do music, and like isn't that the coolest thing in the world? Tractor towing? The heck is that? But while I was in chorus, I had kind of like a nice relationship with my teacher. My teacher and I got along really, really well for a little bit. And then I don't know what happened, but my teacher just decided he did not like me anymore. He just like, I don't know, maybe I was annoying, and I was an annoying kid, but he just stopped liking me altogether one day. And I didn't like the way he was treating me. For the sake of privacy, I'm going to keep some of the specifics out. But he did some pretty not like cool things for an adult to do to a child. It was very like the kind of things that like adults do to kids in TV shows, like Malcolm in the Middle and stuff like that. It was sort of like, this is not appropriate for you to be doing to a kid, like trying to get vengeance and stuff. It was very weird. He was a very weird guy. Um, but he took it too far one day, and he did something that tried to jeopardize my college career. He tried to stop me from going to college in a very specific way, and I did not appreciate that because I cared a lot about college and I wanted to go to college for music. In my mind, I was going to be a musician when I grew up, so like if my music teacher didn't want me to go to college, then like people in the music industry weren't going to respect me. Like it was going to look bad. So I was like super mad, and so we performed a show. Like we had a show choir show at the end of the year, and we did Thriller by Michael Jackson as like our show final, right? Like the curtains drop on Thriller, and for Thriller, I had this idea that he did not like, and since he was being mean to me as a child who is not capable of making good decisions for myself, I decided what I was going to do is I was going to make a bunch of fake blood, and I was going to distribute it to the kids in the locker rooms while we're getting dressed for the show. And so we made a whole bunch of fake blood, and it was very fun, and it was kind of funny. But I made a whole bunch of fake blood, and then everybody wore it, and we came out, and we didn't do this during dress rehearsal. It was only for like the actual show. And yeah, needless to say, he kind of lost his mind. he like he got the look on his face was terrified, and the audience loved it because they thought it was normal because it's Thriller. I mean, it's like a Halloween show. Of course, there's fake blood. What? Um, but yeah, he was very displeased with that. But he never knew it was me. I'm sure he knew like at some point, but during my time in school, he did not know it was me, so I couldn't like theoretically get in trouble for it. But yeah, that was like a good memory. It's a little bit of a vengeful memory. It's not the nicest memory I have, but it is like a good memory. I look back on that and I'm like, I was cool. I was a cool kid. I was not a cool kid, but I was cool by my own definition. I did what I wanted and I stood up for myself, and I feel very good about that. I think that's important. There's limits, right? If you're hurting other people in the process, then you got to check yourself. But I was not hurting people. I was just, doing what I wanted to do. The other memory that I have is, man, I'm stoked on this slide. That's not a terrible looking slide. The bumps, I see them. I'm with you. I agree. The bumps are bad. We're going to get back to the bumps in a little bit. Actually, no. I can fix the bumps right now. I can fix the bumps right now. I know how to do it. I actually know exactly how to fix these bumps. I've done this before. We got it. Okay, think. What I want to do is I want to do an edge loop all the way around. Perfect. And we go GG. We grab you and we go GG. Grab you and we go GG. Another memory that I have is I had a really good friend. So in high school, I was known for giving my friends nicknames. I was actually kind of like known as the nickname guy, which should tell you about how annoying I was as a person, as a child. But I made nicknames for people. I was like a big nicknamer. Lo and behold, I've become a writer now. But yeah, I would give people nicknames. Oh, you poached your egg? Can you post it in Discord? Can we see a pic? I gotta see this egg, man. I'm stoked on this egg. Yeah, let's pop into Discord real quick. Let's take a look at this egg. Oh! Yo. Yo. Barrel. Okay, you know what? That gets a flumph out of flumph, and that gets a rainbow fish out of fish. That's pretty good looking, man. I'm jelly. All right, you get props. You get props on the eggs. You get an egg point. Does it beat yours though? I don't want to compare. My eggs are pretty good though. So I gave people nicknames a lot in high school. Just to say it. And part of that was I don't know, just like a cultural thing. It was a very weird thing for me to do, but I did it a lot. Everybody that I knew had a nickname, and whether they accepted it or not was a different story. But they all had nicknames. And one of my like good friends in high school, Sparks, who I wonder how they're doing. I saw them not too long ago. I saw them before COVID. Just for a brief moment, I like ran into them somewhere, and I don't know. You could have saved a lot of time by making that with a curve. Simo, I thought you were gone. I did say at the beginning of this that this was the kind of thing that I wish Simo was here for. So I am on record for saying that I wish you had told me what to do. So let's just put that out there. But I'm close enough to being done that I don't care. And we had fun along the way, and that's all that matters. It's definitely not all that matters, because I do want to actually be good at stuff and go quickly, but it's all that matters. Now I know. I mean, you tell me curves every time I do anything. If I were stretching in my backyard and you were there, you would tell me to use curves. So, anyway, I had a friend named Sparks. Very good friend of mine, Sparks. Very cool person. Very, very cool. Very athletic. She was on the lacrosse team. She was buff as heck. She was like the coolest person ever. She was definitely like the cool kid that I hung out with. And her name was not Sparks. I just started calling her Sparks because I'm me, I guess. And on the last day of school, like the last day of 12th grade, we're graduating, we're going to college, whatever, she wore glasses. And I guess I just felt inclined to steal her glasses. And it was fun. Like, we were friends. It was not a big deal. But I decided to steal her glasses. And without glasses, I ran all the way across school laughing as hard as I can. And it was just one of those things where you get a laughing fit and you just feel a kind of way. And I don't know. It's like a very good memory of mine. So hopefully that answers your question. That was a bit of a tangent. If it uses a curve, use a curve. All right, Simo. All right. You're right. You're always right. I'm going to go ahead and make some steps to get up to the top of this thing, and then I'm going to call it on the slide because we've spent 20 minutes on the slide, which realistically is not a terrible amount of time to spend on a slide. She had the Spark in her mind, eh? I did have a big old crush on Sparks. I remember having a big old crush on her, but even as a kid, I knew well enough that culturally we were not similar enough. We were two different kinds of people, so a crush wouldn't have worked. Also, scaling works all of a sudden. Why? It just works now. Strange. Okay, so here is our slide, and actually the step always comes up to the top, doesn't it? It always goes like this. I think it almost always does this. I kind of miss school. I do not. I miss being young. I miss having like a nice body where I could eat whatever I wanted. I wish I could eat 2 boxes of Cheez-Its in an hour and not want to keel over and die. But no, I don't miss being young. I don't miss being young at all. Negative 0.9 and negative 2. Whoa, not what I wanted. Negative 2. Negative 7. You're not that old, man? I mean, I'm not saying I'm old. I'm good. But I 100% cannot eat as many Cheez-Its as I used to be able to. If I eat too much weird food, my heart hurts, man. Like I got to work out in the morning. I'm not saying I'm old. I'm just saying like I gotta pay attention to my body. I think everybody does. Your heart hurts? Yeah, I mean, like, if I eat too much, I'll get, like, a little, like, you know, my blood will pump slower. Like, I have high blood pressure. Like, it's a thing in my family, so I guess that's just normal for me. I'm mindful of it, right? I'm not, like, actively having a heart attack. But, yeah, like, it hurts a little bit. Like, you get, like, big. You get, like, all of my body, like, constricts in on itself. It's normal. I mean, it's normal as far as my family goes. Everybody in my family kind of has the exact same thing, so I'm not too worried about it. I have high blood pressure too. I need to work out. Workout? Okay, best advice I can give you for working out. Workout as little as you can, as often as you can. Stop trying to do big, giant workouts. Stop trying to break records and go crazy and do all this nutty stuff, whatever. Don't do that. Instead, work out in like nice, calm increments as often as you can. You'll feel a lot better, I promise. I do yoga and stuff like that in the morning, and every morning I do it, I feel like I could wrestle a bear. Like I did it this morning. I feel wonderful. I feel amazing. Okay, so the slide is kind of getting out of hand. I think I'm losing the thread here. It's good advice. Thank you. Appreciate it. I just care about people. I want you all to be healthy. Health's that one thing that matters, you know? I should be looking at a picture of a slide. Simo, I know, Simo. Pool slide. Simo, you're my, like, angel on my shoulder, right? You're like my terrible conscience that I like to ignore. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. These are all so complicated. Like, I'm not going to make all this. This is crazy. That's more along the lines of what I want. This is good. This will work. Okay, that's what we're doing. I'm doing that. So let's go ahead and grab you and rotate you down. And we'll give it a little push. And we'll follow that all the way up. Okay, so what I want to do is apply scale, go back to edit, extrude along normals until we touch the ground. And I'm going to go orthographic and make sure that we're touching the bottom of this thing pretty well. I'm going to say 5 works for me. And now the question is, we want to scale on Z0. Oh, that looks great. That looks so good. Last but not least, we need to just grab the bottom of this guy, pop it on down, and seal the bottom. And then we're done. Nice and easy. Now, I suppose I will not... I'm not going to do the same thing I did last time, and I'm not going to do the bridge because I don't want to have to fix the bridge. So I'm just going to take it upon myself to do this. We'll do it just like this. Nice and easy. Cut faces. This is a good slide. Thank you. I'm getting a little bit out of my depth. I'm starting to not feel the slide anymore. Might be just because I've been working on it for so long, but I'm starting to get over this slide a little bit. But we're almost done, so what does it matter, right? Who cares? There we go. Bada boom, bada boom. Chaos, what has gotten you into 3D modeling? What are you gonna make? What do you want to make? You just doing it for art's sake, or do you have a project in mind? Hey, there we go. So I put the subsurface back on, and I can't complain about that one. The last thing I probably want to do is throw on a crease right here, so it feels a little bit more structured. That looks bad. That looks pretty bad. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just throw a crease on like that. And that should look a little bit better. I know it's more polygons. I'm going to have to fix those polygons. I'm aware. But that ain't half bad. I need to fix these lines right here. It's going to take me a while to do it, so I'm not going to do it on stream. I'll do it later. But yeah, this is it. We're going. So let's fix up our guys. Let's name some stuff. That's the slide. We got the stairs. Slide stairs. What I want to do is probably scale this guy down a little bit. And then we're going to do like a -0.5, push it in. I don't really have a plan. It's just something I've always wanted to get into. I do it for fun, and if I ever got good enough, maybe make figures or models, or who knows. That's exceptional. I fully support you. I fully support that. That is awesome. Bada boom. That, we've done it. Folks, we've done it. We've made a slide. That is it. This looks great. Anybody who has a problem with this, you're probably right. but I like it. I think it'll also help you learn better anatomy. That's my big thing. I need to learn anatomy. Anatomy's real rough. Okay, let's make some pulls. And to Simo's credit, I'm going to use a curve. Did you cue the music swap there, or was that just fortunate? It was very fortunate. The Astral Observatory is just kind of that theme, you know? Okay, so let's do a 180 on here, and now we're good enough to work on this. I think I don't like working with curves. I think I don't enjoy curves at all. I think curves kind of suck. I'm sure I need to get good at them, and I'm sure that they do matter. Like, in no way am I super serious, but I hate curves. These guys are bad. So let's do a little bit of an orthographic view. Let's pop it on over here. Let's get back and push you on down, and let's get into it. So what we want to do is grab you, orthographic, pop you on down. How do I want to do that? I think I want to control right click, right? No. Curves are great. Simo, I know you like curves. 10 out of 10 would slide on that slide. Thank you. That's the kind of support I need. All right, so we're going to do a GX and slide that guy back. Pop you on down just a little bit. No, not you. You. Pop you on down. That's perfect. And now your turn. Let's go orthographic. Pop you as far down as we want, which I'm thinking is probably here. And now I'm going to pop you in just a little bit, like that. And then we're going to go right-click to you, grab, and we're in. Right? That ain't half bad. Also remember that you can just make a normal edge in edit mode and convert it into a curve. That is true. That part, I do like that part. I enjoy converting between curves and non-curves. It's the working with curves in the first place that I have trouble with. And it's just because I'm bad at it. To everybody that likes curves, good for you. I'm just not good at it. I'm real bad at it. And you shouldn't hate things that you're bad at. But I'm a child. No, I'm not. But sometimes I feel that way. Okay, so I can grab this guy and I can go ahead and throw on a little bit of depth of geometry. Mr. Six likes my curves. And honestly, that's all I need. Okay, bring this back out a little bit and bring this guy up. That looks a little too tall. We're going to follow this curve a little bit better here. You do have nice curves. All right, so I think we might be done with the camera for a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. There we go. Let's go ahead and up our quality just a little bit. 15 is going to be fine. And last but not least, I want to add a modifier to this. But can you add modifiers to curves? You can. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put on a mirror. And the mirror is going to mirror the steps, which is slide steps YX. Done. Boom. We've done it. We got a slide. I'm going to go ahead and actually make this a new collection called Slide. Slide here. We got a backup. I'm going to keep the backup for now because I don't think I need it, but just in case we have it. We're going to call this Slide Handles because I call everything a handle for some reason. There we go. And let's go ahead and place it. I should have thought about placement before I made this, but, you know, I live in a fantasy, so who cares? This actually looks kind of tough. I think there's only one spot we can place it, which I don't love. Individual origins. No, I don't want that. I want median points. There we go. That got messed up. Okay, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. It's so warm that my table fan keeps overheating. Oh, God. How hot is it? What kind of temperatures do you have over there? I live in Florida. It ain't that hot. Oh, part of me wants to mirror this thing. Huh. I'm kind of doubting what I've done here. I'm doubting what I've done here just a little bit. That's probably a little bit closer to the goal that we want. I think I might have made a big mistake. You know what? I'm just going to live with it. I don't care. This is a dangerous scene anyway, right? Like, the kids here do not care. Okay, so check this out. I learned this the other day. You can do, you can hold down Alt. Oh, it didn't work. It's not probably hot by your standards, but around 30 Celsius. All right, what is 30 Celsius in Fahrenheit? For all us dirty Americans, what is 30 Celsius? Now, is it a safety hazard that this thing is going directly into the diving board? Absolutely. 86? Yeah, it's not that bad. But yeah, I get it. You have infrastructure, right? It's the same as people where it like snows and people are like, oh, it's not that much snow. It's more snow over here. And it's like, okay, but it snows once a year over here. Like, if it snows once a year, that's a problem. you don't invest like tax money into that. Do you understand your metric system? What is a foot? Oh, our system's terrible. I wish we would use your system. I wish we would, honestly. A foot is 1/3 of a yard, which is roughly a meter. So about 1/3 of a meter. Kind of. That's not exact. I'm going to grab this, and we're going to push this over just a little bit so this part is hanging over the pool. Is this like a big, giant danger? Absolutely it is. Absolutely this is dangerous. And there's not even a pole holding it up because I'm not good. Fun fact, they tried to convert us to metric system but didn't provide enough money to school, so people just gave up. Yeah. You would freeze to death? Yeah. I mean, I've been in the cold a lot. My family is from like the coldest part of the United States. But every time I go there, it takes me like 2 days to get used to it. It takes a little bit. Okay, I want to do materialing. I think materialing is going to be an important part of this. Oh, let's do lawn chairs real quick. We'll do lawn chairs, and we're going to do materialing. And then I think we'll scoot on from there. Let me check how the voting is going. I would appreciate... Oh, there's actually a lot of little voting for you guys. That's nice. Anybody who wants to add a vote, please add a vote. And please vote on what your favorite votes are, because we're going to be making those eventually. I've been to Ukraine in the winter. It is very cold. I believe that. That sounds awful. Okay, so let's make ourselves a pool chair. I'm getting distracted very easily, but I'm also kind of working quick, so I can't be that upset at myself. All right, what do we want? We want like a classic pool chair, and as easy as I can make it. Ooh, now that's an idea right there. That looks good. I'm into those. I'm also kind of into this. That looks super easy. That looks great. This one looks top tier. I think I might take this one. You'd have to roll out of those first chairs you clicked on. That's what makes it a good beach chair. You want to set it up at a resort and get people to sit down, and then they're stuck. And then you serve them drinks all day. And that's economics, baby. So it keeps our great country afloat. Is tricking people into drinking alcohol. All right. So let's go ahead and pop in a reference image. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and get into it. It has a hinge, and I assume that's for transportation, but I'm not going to use that hinge because I can't do that amount of work. I'm also not going to do the headrest. It's going to come all the way up. Aside from that, we're good. We're Gucci. So what I want to do is... Simo wants me to use a curve. Am I going to use a curve? I don't want to use a curve. I'll use a curve. I'll use a curve. I'm going to focus on Bezier. Sorry to everybody who actually knows how to pronounce that correctly. Too bad. But I'm going to focus on these guys for the time being because they're the ones I understand a little bit more. So let's do it. I just kind of hate the way the interface looks on them. I kind of wish they were like brighter. If I could do a matte library for curves, I definitely would. There we go. That is roughly what they look like. That's roughly what it looks like. What's your favorite book? What a question. What a question. What a question. All right. I have a couple favorite books, but the one that has affected me the most in my life, the one that I feel the most aligned to and I know the most off the top of my head and has influenced my writing a lot. That's the one, baby. That's the one. She's a good book. She's a good book. She's a great book, and the movies are terrible. I can't believe they did the book so dirty with the movies. It's a real shame. But man, the books, they are good. It's one book, but I say books. Okay, so we're going to extrude this guy. There we go. That'll work. We're going to extrude it like this. Oh, I have a really good idea. Should I do this? What's the difference between the books and the movies? I haven't read it. Simo, what should I do? Let me know. Simo, you tell me. Here's what I think I should do. Oh my, Simo. I had a really clear idea of how I was going to do this. Okay, Simo, let's do it. Just for you. Okay, Simo. I love you so much. I'll listen to you. Simo, I love you so much, and this is how I show my love. I listen to you. It's not because you're right. It's because I care about you. What's the difference between the books and the movies? The books and the movies follow the same plot, but they focus on completely different things. So the movies are so overly concerned with like human affairs and like what people are doing. And the book is way more concerned with the world at large. It's more concerned with big picture things and like the political balance between people, whereas the movies are like, this dude's a king. Wow, he's a king. And the books are like, he's a king, and that's what that means for the world. And they lost a lot of that. Whereas Lord of the Rings, the movie, like the classic Lord of the Rings that everybody's seen, I think does a phenomenal job. I think Lord of the Rings is the best movie ever made, like the best series of movies. Okay, so we're here. I'm gonna add an array modifier with a 0.02. We're gonna put a little break in there, and then we're gonna add a curve modifier. And what I'm looking for is the default Bezier. What? What is happening? Why is it looking weird like this? They must have like different alignments. That must be exactly what it is. You should probably have to put this directly inside of the curve. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Got it. So now we can just go bop, 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 bop. And it didn't work. Oh, it did. Okay. I'm just looking at it wrong. All right, Simo. Your way worked. You're good. Fit type, fit curve on array. Fit type, fit curve. Aha. Okay. Simo, when you're right, you're right. I just hate to admit it. Okay, so I probably want to take this, remove that, pop you on. I have this really bad habit when I sit where I slowly turn and then I hurt my neck. Favorite book for a long time was Catcher in the Rye. Catcher in the Rye is good. It's a little disturbing. It has some weird implications, and they make sense. They're fine, right? Like, the main character has problems and needs help. But Catcher in the Rye definitely poses some interesting challenges. It's a tough book to really wrap your brain around. Okay, I don't know why that did this, but I'll go ahead and fix that. So other books that I really like. I have a lot of books that I like. We probably want to take these two and shrink them down a little bit. I'm a Cup of Tea recommends that we all take a drink. I'm a Cup of Tea is really trying to keep us healthy today. So everyone be very thankful. Everyone say thank you to Cup of Tea. Feels good to be alive. There we go. That's that. And then we're going to grab you and we're going to bring you in just a little bit and up just a little bit. There we go. We're all very thankful for the water that we've been forced to drink forcefully by my donations. All right, so that is not looking good. Does that look a little bit better? It's kind of a weird angle. I'm having trouble with this curve. This is why I don't like curves. I get stuck on this. I get like real stuck on this part. That looks actually a lot better. And then now I just want to make the headrest. And so the headrest is going to be, whoa, it's huge. We're just going to put the headrest right there. And I think that's all right. If you want to ask about the ergonomics, then it's not for you. Then you can't afford it. So if I go like that, then we fit perfectly to curve, and that looks pretty good. Do you like Chuck Palahniuk? I don't know who that is. I don't have a clue who that is, to put it lightly. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the exact same thing, a cube. We're going to go ahead and shrink you down. We're going to make you nice and long and thin. Be right back. No worries. You live your best life. Who is Chuck Palahniuk? The guy who wrote Fight Club. I don't know anything about the guy who wrote Fight Club. Fight Club's all right. Fight Club is a movie that I really liked when I was younger. I think that's kind of true for a lot of people. Like, it's cool. Is it like the best movie ever made? No. I don't think that at all. Let's do like 12 of these guys. Oh, what the heck is going on? There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, Fight Club, I mean, it's just not my favorite thing in the world. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We want to get it pretty close to this. Maybe not all the way on the bottom there. And now I'm going to take it and make it a little bit longer. Ooh, I'm a little colored on this one. Color me just a little weirded out about what we're looking at right now. Does that work? That actually works perfect. That looks good. Okay, cool. I can live with that. The book is amazing. I believe that. I fully believe that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take all of this and subdivide it one time. And then we're going to take you, and we're done. Dissolve. Okay, so that is that. And now we're going to go ahead and make that... This is going to be our chair planks. This is going to be our chair bracket. And for this, I think we're ready to apply, although I guess I don't need to apply. Let's not apply. Instead, I just want to take it and push it to the side, and hopefully it doesn't ruin it. It did kind of ruin it. No, it didn't. I'm just not looking at it correctly. We want it to come a little bit higher, because we want it to slot into that really nice. And then we want to bring it on over, and I'm not going to bring it all the way because the ones that come all the way don't really hold correctly. Usually there's a little bit of an overlap here. So that's how I'm going to think about this one. And then we're going to add a mirror modifier. And the mirror is on planks. Where's planks? Chair planks. Chair planks. YX. Done. Hey, that is not half bad. Color me in. Color me in on this one. I think I do have to apply the curve. So sorry to everybody who didn't want me to do that, because I got to do this. Finally, we're doing curves. Simo, finally. I know you've been waiting a long time for me to actually get it together, but today we've done it. Just for you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have done curves. So I guess I owe you a thanks. Even though I didn't want to do it. But sometimes, you know, sometimes somebody's got to tell you to eat your vegetables. And that's what you've done for me today. You've made me eat my vegetables. That's actually perfect. That is pretty perfect looking. It kind of looks like a little dragon, like a little lizard sunning in the breeze. So last but not least, we can take it upon ourselves to add these guys. And What time are we looking at? We are just about 4 o'clock. Got to get out of that comfort zone? Of course. You have to always get out of the comfort zone. I just... streaming is already getting out of the comfort zone. Streaming is already awkward. So going more out of the comfort zone than that is a challenge, to say the least. There we go. There he is. There he is. Whew. Yes. Yes, we are here. We've done it. Let's go ahead and take this guy and move him on out. You've got a natural streaming thing, to be honest. You're not very shy about it. I mean, there's little bits and pieces. I feel kind of weird about streaming sometimes. Just because I'm good at it, I think doesn't mean that... and I don't know if I'm good at it. Let me put that out there. But just because I'm good at it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not the easiest thing in the world for me. I think about streaming a lot. I probably waste too much brain power thinking about streaming on a regular day. I'm going to call this a sun chair just because I think I might add more chairs later. And let's dig in. So I just got to pop them on over to the scene and give them a copy. We probably definitely want to make duplicates, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. So bring them on down. We got everything back to median point. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. Hey, uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good. Let's grab the Bezier curve in this, and let's... apply scale to the curve. Thank you. I'm going to apply scale now, and I'm going to apply scale afterwards, because I know you meant both. It's been really nice hanging out with you, and you already have a cool community. That's very appreciated. It's hard to imagine what this will look like eventually. But I'm also not that beat out of shape as to whatever is going to happen. You know? It is what it is. That's a human. That's about right for a human, I would argue. So let's go ahead and pop this guy on down. We're going to rotate him just a little bit because he's a little wrong. You know what's strange about pools? You go to a pool and people set stuff on the ground. And it's like the reason we don't set stuff on the ground is because we don't want things to get dirty. But like pools are the dirtiest places. Maybe it's because there's water and people feel like, oh, it's clean because of water. But people just like put their drinks and food on the ground. Isn't that really weird? I find that like very unusual. There we go. There's that. Nice and under the umbrella. And now we're going to take our curve and we're going to apply scale. We're going to grab you and we're going to apply scale. There we go. We're going to grab you and we're going to apply scale. And that didn't work. You've never been at one. That's true. This is true. Okay, so we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. The problem that we have is that this got moved weird. If I apply scale... yeah, that got moved weird. That got moved real weird. Huh. Just edit the planks in edit mode? Yeah, I think that's what I gotta do. They're correct, though. I'm getting very sniffly. I don't know why I'm getting so sniffly. Let's do a local transformation. And I'm going to go up and out. And we'll go back to object mode. And it looks a little bit better. So let's just do it one more time. Local mode, out. Yeah, I can live with that. I don't know why it's messed up, and I'm not going to think too much about it, because if I do, I'm going to kind of freak myself out, so that's it. Remember that you rarely want to scale things in object mode. I'll keep that in mind. All right, we got that Pokemon pinball going on right now. So let's pop in another chair and give him a nice little rotate. Boom. And as much as you want the chairs to be in a nice, like, symmetrical row, people are degenerates and they move the chairs, so you got to live with it. People will always mess up your chairs. Unless you bolt them to the ground, people are going to move them. So let's do some materialing for 30 minutes. If you do a thing in edit mode and you don't have to apply a scale every time you do something, that's true. I worry about moving object of origin when I do stuff like that, or moving things away from the object of origin. I'm sure that's not the case in this specific scenario, but I just think about that a lot. Oh, we also want the donut float. All right, we're going to get donut float going real quick here. Let's make ourselves a little donut float. He's going to go in the shallow end. This one's easy. We're going to go ahead and add ourselves a Taurus. I want it kind of big. We'll say like 0.4. And I'm going to go ahead and shade her smooth. And we're going to add one little thing. And this is something that I've thought about for a long time, but I've never used. The multi-res. So we can multi-res and do some stuff like this, which why won't it let me do it? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the cool thing about multi-res, for anybody that's never used multi-res before, is it is a subsurface, but you have to put it first in your modifier stack, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I think it has to be first. But as a result, you can sculpt the actual subdivision instead of being stuck with like a weird looking little guy. And that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just mess up a little bit of an inner tube here, and then we're going to add some creases to make those make the fill lines on it. Yeah, I want to emphasize that, get some fill lines. Oh yeah, it's donut time. So that part is a little bad looking, so we'll just go ahead and fill that up. And that is a good place for a crease. So let's go ahead and grab our crease, get real small. And we're just going to add a crease right there. And we'll just copy and paste for this little guy, because there's one right here. Add a little crease. I'll put a little tiny one here just to kind of round it out so it looks a little bit more realistic in my mind, at least what I think realistic is supposed to look like. The outside probably doesn't have too many creases because it's like the bigger part. It's the part that has the most air filling it. So I might do like a little one like that. I'm talking like I know what I'm doing. I don't super know what I'm doing, but I can kind of picture what this is supposed to look like. And then last but not least, I want to take and make that little little bit. In fact, I want it smaller than that. I'm going to probably use a grab, like an elastic deform sort of grab. So let's grab you. Do that. And I'm going to grab a crease. That's not what I want. I want a crease. And I don't think we have enough on the multi-res to do this, so I'm going to crease it even more right here. And I'm probably going to apply the multi-res and remove some of this detail, honestly. But we're just doing this for now. Actually, this looks terrible. Let's not do this. You know what would be even better than that? Let's poly edit it. So I've messed up. I've done messed it up. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're back. Perfect. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and just round this guy out real quick, nice and soft. Everything else looks good, and then we're gonna go ahead and head back into here, hit apply, jump into edit mode, look at what this guy looks like. He looks fine. And then we can take this and extrude out just a little bit. Go back to sculpt and give it just a little bit of a nodule. You know what? It's going to be fine as a donut. We're just going to leave it as a donut. It doesn't even have a blow up thing. The blow up thing's hidden underneath somewhere and you're not going to see it. I don't care. So that's it. That's the donut. So let's do a little bit of this. And how big do we want the donut? I think the donut should be smaller than the shark. Donut's kind of a kid's thing. So we'll do a little bit like that. They're always a little bit higher than you want them to be, so I'm going to do that. And we're going to push you on over to the kids' end. And the more I'm looking at it, the more I want to do this real quick. Just to smooth those curves just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Let's do some texturing. Oh, I meant to work on the pool too. I messed up something, but that'll be for another time. So let's dig in. So we're in rendered view. And now the question remains, I never ate a donut. What do you mean you never ate a donut? You've never eaten a donut in your life? That can't be true. I will not live in a world where that's true. That's not true. That's not allowed. I have donuts sitting in my kitchen right now. I've been eating like one a day. Okay, so we are here. How do I want to do this? Question time, question time. How do I want to do this? Well, looking at this, we can improve a lot of things really quickly. It's hard to find. Donuts aren't common in Brazil? Isn't Brazil kind of known for donuts? There's no way. Okay, so, oh, my voice. I think I have a cool way that I can solve this problem. Also, we definitely need to do a bump map on the mortar. So let me grab this. This is going to get ugly. I apologize for what you're about to see. Please don't blame me. I cannot be blamed. There we go. That's not half bad. Just a little bit of a thing. So when you reflect it, you can see that it's got a little bit of a bump to it. It's difficult here in Brazil. We have another dessert. Okay, so what are the common desserts in Brazil? You got to let us know. Asking for a friend. I'm going to throw on a noise texture with a color ramp. I know in Spain there are churros. Oh, we have churros at the wazoo here in Florida. We got a crazy amount of churros down here. Noise texture. Brigadeiro. I will send a picture in Discord later. I think you've talked about these before. I think I remember you talking about this. Color me a fan. Okay, so we got a little bit of texture on this. And what I want to do is I want to add in an object. This is going to get kind of messy kind of quick. We're going to throw in a mix RGB. I'm going to throw in object. We're going to throw in color, and look how gross our little setup here looks. I'm going to do an add. Make it bigger. And we're going to go ahead and scale this guy up just a little bit. I don't know why it's not dissolving super well. It should be making a bunch of little patterns all over the place, but it's not, which is weird. Why are you not making patterns? You should be making patterns. There we go. That's a little better looking. Let's do that with a roughness of 0.5 and a detail of 5. And now we have little wet tiles. Excellent. I'll pop you up to base color. We look at you. That'll do. Now I go back to this. And now we have kind of random wetness on every tile. Now that they have like a little bit of surface tension to them, the water can kind of sit on the surface and get a little weird. Might make them a little bit more on the black. I think black is, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's go like 0.4. There we go. And now we got a nice sheen sort of water going up on the tiles. That's excellent. That looks great. I need to fix the stairs. The stairs shouldn't have it, but everything else looks good. So next up, we're going to do glass. Ooh, look at that. Ugh. That is ugly. Let's not look at that. Now. Okay, I just got to do it. I'm like trying to come up with a clever way to do this, but I just got to do it. Sorry if I missed something. Fridays are very busy at the bar. Hey, Mr. Six, you owe literally nothing. You owe us literally nothing. You live your best life, and if you're here to hang out, you're here to hang out. If you're busy, you're busy. Not a problem. We're all chilling, man. I'm just some dude on the internet that makes 3D things, and you guys come and hang out with me, right? That's as complicated as it gets. It's no more than that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and separate by loose parts on here. This is fence, right? Is fence plugged in? Oh, no. Fencing. I'm going to get out of control a little bit. If I think about this too much, I'm going to kind of psych myself out, so I'm just going to do it. Do any of you celebrate Midsummer, or is it a Nordic thing? Oh, by the way, Nordic, I think, is what I meant by Scandinavian. We do not celebrate Midsummer, but I do celebrate Midsummer in my writing. I recognize Midsummer as the thing in the stories that I write. So I'm aware of it. But no, we do not separate it. Or no, we do not celebrate it. Okay, I'm going to combine all of this together. We're going to join this as one big fence. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here into edit. We're going to grab the whole thing and we're going to separate by loose parts. You're going to ask, isn't that a waste of time? No, it saves me one step. And then I can go like this and I can go all the way across. And what I should be doing is instancing all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go all the way across. We're going to instance all this. Actually, I'm going to make it all one object for the time being so it's not hard to edit. But I will instance it when it comes to the final version. So when you see this in game, know that the thing that I'm doing right now is not what's going to be in game. But I can't be bothered to think more than that. And I have a really clever solution, I think, for how I'm going to do this. So color me clever, I guess. We're going to join all that together, and that is going to be glass fencing. You missed one? Oh, Simo, why are you always right? Why are you always right? You're always right. You always know everything. You're too smart. Glass fencing. It is typically to get unbelievably drunk in the midsummer here. We basically have a night where the sun won't set at all. Got it. I mean, that's 4th of July for us. I'm sure 4th of July is like a real thing to outsiders of the United States. But 4th of July is also a real crazy thing to us here in the United States. It's an unbelievable holiday that I can't believe exists. Just debauchery. You miss Carnival? Can you give us a lowdown on Carnival real quick so we all can follow you? Can you merge? Okay, tell you what. I will grab you manually and I will merge you. Why can't I merge these guys? Why can't I merge you? Why would it be a thing for people outside the US? Because I think it probably looks nuts. I'm sure 4th of July looks nuts to the rest of the world. Because it is nuts. It's like an insane holiday. It's a holiday in Brazil where people get drunk and kiss strangers in the mouth. Oh, no. Oh, I don't agree with that one. Why do they do that? There we go. Yeah, what's the deal with that one, huh? What's the deal with Carnival? Why do people do that? Isn't that like real bad manners? Okay, so we got the donut float. We'll do towels and sunscreen another day. I'm gonna cut that out right now. Okay, so we are back to nodes. We're back onto node editing. And now the question remains, what are we up to? We got a strong request for pool floaties, so I'm going to make some pool floaties here. But let's make some transmissive glass real quick. Some glass that has really high roughness. It's like 1 week per year where you can do anything in so-called bloquinhos, which is parades of sambas. Yeah, Brazil's a strange place. This doesn't help the argument that we were talking about Brazil earlier. This sort of paints Brazil in the way that everybody paints Brazil. All right, that is pretty good looking glass. If you want to call crazy, you know you have no right to. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't vouch for any American behavior. I don't even represent like American culture, like personally. We're gonna call this metal, and we're gonna zoom in and make sure that the metal doesn't have any weird divots on it. That's actually just perfect looking metal. Nothing weird about that at all. Cool. The only thing that I think I might want to add is on the glass, we probably want to add a little bit of a tint. A little bit of a tint could probably sell it. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me, actually. Wow, that looks really good. Sold. Sold to the highest bidder. Okay, next up comes the pool float. Let's grab this guy, and we're going to go ahead and do our usual nice process to this. This one's going to be easy. You know, I've done this a million times before, but I didn't know how to do this when I started. So, let's take old and take new and put them together and make something beautiful. When my music meets your science, you know how it goes? You've all heard the song. Pop that in there. We're going to go ahead and apply scale, and then we're going to go ahead and throw on some texture coordinates with an object. And I'm going to ask myself, why does it look like this? It's because the scale is way too big. So let's pop this guy up to like 30. Let's get that detail extremely high. Let's get the dimension down super low. And that's what a pool floaty looks like. Lachronicity probably could go up a little bit. Of course, you can kiss a stranger in the mouth only with the stranger's permission, but it is pretty sexual holiday. Is crazy. It's definitely crazy. That's not me saying the United States is not crazy. The United States is crazy. Anybody that lives in the US that thinks that the US is not a weird, wacky, strange place to live is off their rocker. Is like absolutely removed from the rest of the world. But that one right there is a little crazy. Let's go 5. I think 5 might actually look the part. And we'll throw on a color. To me, pool floaties are always yellow. I suppose I'm willing to take a vote, but you guys have to vote pretty quickly. So if you guys want to vote, make it known fast. They're super rough. They have very low specular. Actually, they have high specular, don't they? They do have sheen. The sheen is pretty white. Everything else, I think, is all right. I kind of wish I had displaced it instead of using a bump because I kind of want it to be crazier than this, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll live. Uh, 0.5 is going to have to stay, and they do have subsurfacing. So the subsurface of a pool noodle is almost always like chlorine is chlorine colored. So it's like that. And the subsurface goes up to like 0.3 and it has that vibe to it. That is what a pool noodle looks like. But we're not going to kill our computer right now, so we're going to remove that to 0. Okay, cool. Well, that's the pool noodle. Done. Pink. Oh, you barely hit the window. You barely got in on the window. I'm going to make a consolidation between the two of us. We're going to do... We're going to do... We'll do that. That's an okay color. That looks like a pool noodle. So that's between pink and orange. That's perfect. That'll do just fine. And it sticks out pretty well, I think, as well. So, next up, we got the slide. I'm going to do the slide real quick. I think I'm going to do kind of not... I'm going to be a little bit lazy on the slide. The slide is going to be metal. And then it's going to be metal. And then it's going to be metal. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be metal. It's going to probably be the diving board, right? I mean, I sort of like that. That's this color over here. Is it that color? I should have really... I didn't name things for some reason. I don't know why I didn't name things. This is diving board. Hello, this is diving board. This is pool tile. Diving board. Oh, and we are out of time after this. I did not realize how out of time we were. Okay, so this is going to be called slide. And the slide is... Those are all good amounts for the slide. I'd say the slide probably looks exactly like the diving board, so I think we're good. When I think of a slide, I think of... Think of this color. That's the color of a slide. Like, that's a slide. That's what slides look like. And I want to do the pool noodle or the donut, but I literally do not have enough time. So we're gonna call it there. It was you know, we weren't the most productive, but we also weren't the least productive. So not a bad day. Let's take a little stretch real quick. If you spend more than 4 hours on a computer, make sure you take a stretch every single day. It feels great, and it's good for you. It makes you live longer. And if you want to be an artist, you got to live as long as you can, because your art's not going to make itself. So that is going to do it for the first half of the stream. So see you later, YouTube. Catch you next time.